the Death Star. Formerly known as the ultimate power in the universe, with enough firepower to destroy an entire planet, this seemingly indestructible battle station met its demise when a band of rebel forces took down its central core to lead to a perfect explosion. Or did it? Join us as we take a closer look on what happened that fateful day. The day we lost many friends and comrades as an evil leader controls the Empire with his finger. This is News Credits. Let's start off by explaining how the Death Star was destroyed. According to the Death Star Commission Report, an X-Wing rebel fighter managed to fly down a heavily armed trench run, whose interior was made up of nothing but machinery, fire a proton torpedo through a nearly 2-meter-sized hole, and escape nearly unharmed. Let's take a look at this hole. A womp rat couldn't fit through that, let alone a proton torpedo, which is almost twice in diameter. During the battle, the Death Star was orbiting around Yavin for about 15 minutes in order to get within 20,000 yards of the planet to bring down Yavin 4 and the rebel force who inhabits it.
Estimated time to firing range, 15 minutes.
But why orbit so long? It is known that the Death Star was at least 50,000 yards away from Alderaan when it was destroyed. An interview with T3 of the 3rd Fleet states, "We were in more than enough range to take down Yavin, but the Emperor kept telling our engineers to hold off." Why? The Empire wanted to create a believable situation that would make it seem that the rebels had enough time to take down the battle station. But in reality, Emperor Palpatine was the controlling force behind this heinous situation. Now, why would the Emperor perform such a horrible crime? Before we go into that, it is well known that the Emperor was never on his own battle station.
I have just received word that the Emperor...
During a space meeting just days before the Death Star was destroyed, it was recorded that Governor Tarkin stated that the Emperor is rarely on board, and when he is, it's a very rare situation and he's in solitude, claiming that he's working on plans not open to the public view. Now what could those plans possibly be? Is it possible that the Emperor was prepping the thermite explosions throughout the Death Star? He is a powerful Sith Lord, and planning these explosions between him and Vader would not have been difficult. Sith Lords can avoid being seen if they wish. If the Death Star was truly the Emperor's new favorite toy, don't you think he would want to personally watch over it while on board, instead of just increased security levels of rookie clone troopers? It is known that Vader was a huge helping hand in this epic battle, but for which side? Yes, many rebels did meet their death at the hands of Vader, but who wouldn't enjoy shooting down a bunch of rebel fighters? Take a look here. Now take a look here. Exactly 1 minute after Vader's abandonment, the Death Star explodes. Some would say it's just a mere coincidence. Okay, if so, why would Vader be flying away from the Death Star? According to the Death Star Commission Report, Vader had a collision with another Imperial fighter, and his ship was damaged. That may be true, but if your ship is damaged during a battle, a pilot does one out of two things. One, you have your droid fix it. Obviously, Vader's ship was not occupied by a droid. Or number two, you fly into the nearest battle station, and in this case, that would be the Death Star. Now, if Vader received any type of damage, he would have flown into the Death Star or at least continued fighting. But he didn't. He flew away from the scene completely. Why? Vader knew the exact moment the explosions in the Death Star were meant to go off and knew he needed to get away from the scene as far away as possible. Take a look at the explosion of the Death Star. Notice how it's just one big explosion, no pre-explosions coming out of the side, no nothing. It is said that this occurred due to its central core being hit. Take a look here though. This station during the Battle of Naboo was hit by a torpedo from the inside, just as the Death Star supposedly was. But take a look. See all the mini explosions beforehand? See how it does not just blow up, but merely falls into pieces? Now why didn't this happen to the Death Star? It just blows up. It's a common fact that this was an act of controlled demolition. Period. How would the Empire benefit from destroying the Death Star, and what would motivate him to perform such a horrible crime? Take a look at what happened about 1 month after the Death Star's destruction. The invasion of the icy planet Hoth. Why invade Hoth? According to Emperor Palpatine, Hoth was a planet controlled by the rebels, and weapons of mass destruction were hidden among the planet. What he won't tell you is that Hoth is well known for its many sources of oil, something our Empire seems to be in shortage of. Not convinced? Take a look at the Battle of Hoth. Notice AT-ATs? Not just your everyday weaponry. Not many of these exist because there are usually only a few of these on standby for emergency situations only. We see about 5 AT-ATs. Do you know how long it takes to construct one of these? According to a Wookiee engineer, Uk, Uk was later fired from working under the Imperial forces after this interview. Now, if it takes a little over 3 months to create such a firepower machine, how is it that there were 4 to 6 AT-ATs in the Hoth invasion? It would take a good year to build at least 4. Hoth was invaded about a month later after the Death Star was destroyed. The Emperor had this in mind from the beginning. He knew that the oil level in the Empire would go down over the years and that Hoth was the ideal planet to invade. So what does the Emperor do? Takes the backbone of the Imperial force, the Death Star. He uses it as collateral. He uses the rebel force as a scapegoat for its destruction, and uses the Death Star's destruction as a support and a perfect driving force to invade a planet. The Emperor had this invasion premeditated and prepped just enough AT-ATs over the past couple years to take over. Nothing else adds up. No ifs, no ands, or buts. As we speak, the Empire is building a Death Star 2. Why? Why recreate a battle station that was taken down by a bunch of farm boys known as the Rebel Force? What will its destruction be used as an excuse for this time? Wake up, people! Help to stop the continuing construction of the Death Star 2. Help to stop the Empire from stealing your Imperial credits for its own personal gain. Help to stop another catastrophe leading to more death tolls and unnecessary invasions. Do something before it affects you. Many lives are depending on you. We are the sons and daughters of a revolution.